To do, I need you to draw me a 30-degree angle.
Don't yet.
What's the first thing you should do?
Put a line. I'm bad. I'm right to the left. I don't know what kind of put a dot.
Yep. So we're gonna put a dot and a line. I'm gonna have it opening to the right. So we're gonna put our protractor, line it up. Everything has to be lined up, like so. This is called a protractor. It measures angles. Protractor measures angles. A compass.
Bro, I was in Nate's live yesterday. They said Charlie said his football switch when it's cracked. And then you can see Fortnite in the background. He's still on phone. I know.
So then we mark it off at the 30 degrees. This is 0. So we go 10, 20, 30. 30 would be right there. So there's my dot, there's my second dot. And we connect. We label it 30 degrees. Is that okay? Okay, now let's do it, but the other way. We're still going to do a 30 degrees, but now we're going to do it opening to the left. So 30 degrees, but now opening the other way. So we're practicing using the other set of numbers. So 30 degrees going the other way. So 30 degrees here. And they should look exactly the same except just going, opening in the opposite direction. Right? None of them should look more than 90 degrees. Alright, are we okay with drawing them? So last week, in the mad rush of the schedule, we were given a worksheet. I think most of you finished it. The angle one. So today what we're going to practice, I think 2 things at once. We're going to practice measuring and drawing. Okay, so we're going to practice drawing these measurements. Front side, the measurements end in 0 or 5, which is nice. The back side ends in like really different numbers. Anyways, so let's do the first one. Now they tell you which way to open. On this side, you're always going to use the inside or the outside numbers if you look at all the arrows. Which set of numbers are you going to use? Inside or outside numbers?
Inside.
Very good. So on this side, you will always use the inside numbers for this page. The back side's a little different. So they already have the dot and the line. Put the backwards T on top of the dot. Make sure the line is lined up. If it's a little bit off, it's a little bit off, and we don't like that. So the first number is 140. So this is 0. So we count on the inside numbers: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 10, 20, 30, 40. 140 is all the way over here. So we'll put a dot on where the 140 is. Right there, 140. We move our protractor over. We connect dot to dot. Draw our arrow. This is 140 degrees. Yes, it should be opened up pretty wide. That's how I know if you're right or wrong. 140 should be wider than 90. So as I walk around, I can tell if you're right or wrong just by that. Any questions?
Nope.
All right. Should be pretty easy. All right, so we're going to go back to our notes, and we're going to write that down. So, the one that everyone should know is a right angle. A right angle measures 90 degrees. It 100% measures 90 degrees. There's no like, oh, it's between these numbers. No, it's 100% 90 degrees. What does it look like?
Oh. That's straight up.
So let's draw a perfect 90-degree angle. What does a perfect 90-degree angle look like?
Like an L.
Like an L.
Something I don't think.
So here's 90, right? So it's, if you have graph paper, it's so easy to draw because you just follow the blue lines, right? Does anybody know the universal symbol for a 90-degree angle?
The square.
The square. So if you see this little square on any of your angles, this square right here, it's a universal 90-degree symbol, okay? So this measures exactly 90 degrees, and it's called a right angle, okay? So when you see this magical little square, everyone in the world knows that this little square means a right angle. So, what do you call it when it's less than 90 degrees?
Acute.
Acute. So an acute
Brian,
Less than 90.
you're serious?
angle, yes. How cute? Acute angle is measures less than 90 degrees, okay? An acute angle measures less than 90 degrees. It's so cute. It's so small and tiny. So basically, any angle that fits inside of a 90-degree angle. So any angle that's below 90 degrees. So any angle that fits here is acute. So on the first day when we started measuring, I knew if you were using the wrong set of numbers, if you called an acute like 100 degrees. And I'm like, no, it's not 100 degrees.
That's obtuse.
That's up to. So I knew walking around if you were doing them correctly or not. Let's do 60 degrees.
Oh, I did 40.
I did about like
Label it.
I did 100.
He did 100. I don't know if he realizes his mistake.
I'm doing 89.
So this is called an acute angle because it measures less than 90 degrees. So any angle between basically 1 degree and 89 degree is called acute. Think about it as the word cute. Oh, it's so small. It's a cute little baby. It's so small. Cute little angle. We okay? So cute little angles, those are less than 90. We ready? Okay. The third one is called obtuse. Yep. Obtuse ate all his vegetables growing up and grew up to be a big, strong angle. Obtuse. Obtuse angle. Measure more than 90 degrees. So 90 degrees is like the main guy. Are you more than 90 or less than 90 or equal to 90? So obtuse angle measure more than 90 degrees. So it's like open wide. It's a wide angle. All right. So let's see what angle fits in my. So protractor, I'm gonna go with.
I went with 160.
I'm gonna go with 120.
I went with like 110.
Can I do that but the other way?
Sure.
No thing.
So 120 is an example of an obtuse angle. So basically, it's any angle that measures 90 degrees, but less than 180. Okay, these are the ones that are open wide. Open wide. So when you guys were doing the assignment last week, so here are the answers for last week, right? And like you had this angle right here last week, and let's pretend you guys wrote 50 degrees on this one. I knew you were wrong. Why did I know you were wrong immediately?
Because you were looking at the wrong side of numbers.
Yes, you were looking at the wrong set of numbers. But why does 50 not make sense for this one?
Because that's an obtuse angle and you put an acute.
Exactly. So this is an obtuse angle. It has to be more than 90. So when you wrote your answers at like 50, let's pretend I knew you were off because I knew it was an obtuse angle. So that's why the adults, when they were here with us last week, we could tell right away. Okay, there's another one that I got to teach you. It starts with an S.
Parallel. No.
Oh.
That's a P. That's
The-
a P.
180. I don't know how it's called.
Circular. Oh, sphere.
Circular.
Straight.
Straight. Oh.
Straight angle.
Straight angle.
360. Oh, 360. It's in like the
Straight angle
circular.
It's 180.
measures exactly 180 degrees. So a straight angle measures exactly 180 degrees.
Like, just basically just
A line. Half a circle.
90 degrees plus 90 degrees.
Correct.
Basically just half a circle. And that's just a line.
Just a line with the dot in the middle and your little arc. That's 180 degrees, a straight line. So for those kids who are like into skateboarding and stuff and those tricks, those numbers that you say are actually angles. So, oh, he just did a 180. Oh, he just did a 90. He just did a 360. He just did a 5 something. What you're saying are actually angles. What you're doing is actually math. But we don't say that because then skateboarding would be cool. But what every time you do a trick and you name a number, what that number actually represents.
Is the angle that you move the skateboard at?
Yep. How many rotations you did.
You already know.
What you didn't realize is look at you guys doing math at such a young age.
Me, crazy rotating. I'll play with it.
Uh-huh.
It's on site.
Cute.
So right now going back and to our worksheet and labeling it acute, obtuse, right, straight.
No rights.
Cute.
Go ahead and label them. Ready, set. Okay, listen.
Oh, we're doing the S.
Let's look at the new worksheet. Before we pick up our protractor,
Or you-
let's look at this angle. Right here it says M, this little symbol, weird symbol. Okay, so if you ever get this on the test, what this means, it says the measure of angle STU. The letter that's in the middle that connects two of the lines, that always goes in the middle. So this angle is called STU. There is nothing other than that. It's just called STU. I can use any letters. M stands for measure. That symbol is your angle. So that's how you pronounce it. The measure of angle STU. Now what do we notice about this? We notice that this line isn't like perfectly horizontal. So when we measure it, we can rotate our paper. Now, before I measure it, Kevin and Joseph,
60 something.
now, before I measure it, does it look obtuse, acute, right? Looks obtuse, right? It looks like it's going to be wider than 90. So that means our answer has to be more than 90 degrees. So, first thing I need you to do is to extend your lines. If you extend your lines, your math is actually easier than trying to guess where these lines cross the protractor. So if I extend the lines, yes, I can go into the other box. It doesn't matter. Use your protractor as a ruler to extend your lines. Now, you can rotate your paper because if you do this and just do this, am I going to accurately measure my angle if I put my protractor like this? No. One of these two lines have to be on 0. So if I just go like this, I cannot measure it this way. None of these lines are at 0. So I'm going to rotate my paper so that this line over here and my protractor are at 0. So do you see how now my pencil line is at 0? So your paper is rotated and that's okay. Your protractor is rotated and that's okay. So everybody line it up. Make sure here it's at 0 degrees on the 4. Line it up. There's no way to learn this other than you actually doing it. Not just copying our answers, but you actually positioning the protractor onto your paper and rotating it.
Oh, what am I?
133.
What?
I got 134.
I got like 108.
What's with the blood?
You got 132,
108.
133.
I got 133.
I want 133.
Yeah.
I got 135.
I got 133. Yeah, I got 133.
133.
133.
It is?
Yeah.
It's because like if you really look at it, the line goes right into one.
Yeah, you're right. 133.
Okay,
Eagles QB.
couple things.
What's the
If you're off by more than one, so if you say 134, 132, that's within the measure of A-okayness. If you say 135 or 130, or 136, 1, is your pencil sharp enough to draw a straight line? Some of my kids don't draw this line straight. They kind of just want to do it by hand, and it's like, dude, no, you got to make it straight. Okay, so this is obtuse, so we're going to label it obtuse. Okay, number 2, without measuring, what does it look like? Acute. So that means that your answer has to be less than 90. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw and extend my lines. It makes the math easier, believe it or not. Extend your lines. Now, feel free to move your paper around.
74. Oh, never mind.
Alex Topper.
No, they're wrong.
Where is 0 at?
I think it's 66.
So you see this line?
I got 67.
You see this line 0, right?
Yeah.
If it's over here, then this line's 0. It could be both.
Ouchie, wouchie.
So I go 0.
I got 65.
So this is
I
0.
got 60.
Now, when I ask a second grader, I bring over a second grader. Hey, we're going to count by tens. All right, ready, second grader? Yes. Okay, second grader. Start counting by tens. What's the first number out of his mouth?
0.
10.
Oh, it's
10. So, do I use the 10 or the 170? 10. So we go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So we use those numbers. If we were on this side, I go, okay, second grader, what's the first number? Counting by 10. 10, 20, 30. So it depends on where your pencil mark is. Is it on this side or is it on this side? If it's on this side, you're going to use the outside. If it's on this side, you're going to use the inside. Or think like, okay, I'm a second grader. Which numbers do I start? Do I go 170 or 10? All right. 66?
Yeah, that's
66, 67?
I told you.
65.
65.
67. How you get 65? What?
I got 66.
Yeah, 66. I'm putting that. That's putting 66.
Bro, I haven't bought V-Bucks like 6 months, bro.
I'm not mean, it's like a year.
Okay.
That's a lie. You look at it.
66, 65, all good, right? You're within 1. Okay, number 3. Does that look, just by looking at it, does that look acute, obtuse? So we know if it's acute, just by looking at it, you know that your answer has to be less than 90. That also stops you from using the wrong set of numbers. If you know that it's acute, you know my numbers have to be less than 90. So let's extend. Extend.
60.
You want to role play with me?
I got way less than that.
I know me too.
I got 58.
I got 57.
Yeah, I got 57.
I got 59.
I got 60.
So double check.
Oh, wait, Grandma.
I got 62.
Okay, are your lines straight? There's no 62. It does not pass 60.
Yeah.
Is your line right here? Is
I
your
got
line on the
60.
4?
I got 59.
I got 60.
I got
60,
I
I
got
got
59.
59.
I got 59.
Yeah, I got 59.
Yeah, 59. 59 or 60?
Okay.
59.
59.
58.
59.
Who said 58?
I did.
No, it's on here.
58.
67 or 58.